Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Politics Now, where I talk about modern politics in modern America. And today we're going to be discussing actually why I think Virginia might be trending right. And this isn't just because of the governorship. I know Glenn Youngkin is probably a big factor in why Virginia is shifting to the right. And honestly, with the trends going on, it might actually start voting for the Republicans and at least the Senate and the governor and the House. But the president might be a little bit until we get there. But so far, yeah, polls that have come out for political affiliation in Virginia are not looking good. This poll just came out, and yeah, a majority of people, not including the independents, were they can break either way, but the people who are dead set on their party and are Republican or lean Republican, they're up 4 points above Democrats in a Democratic state. So yeah, that's not looking too good. Even if these independents broke for majority Democrat, that's still too tight to put it as a likely Democrat state. And if this trend keeps continuing where Republicans are gaining more and more of a majority over Virginia, that means it can revert back to a Republican state. And honestly, that would mean a lot of electors you need for the electoral college are going to go to Republicans, and then you're going to have a lot easier time to win the presidency and all these other offices in Virginia, because if your state shifts to the right and is shifting at the pace that Virginia is, it will become a safe red state in no time. It's kind of like how Missouri went from a pretty easy blue state to a pretty safe red state, and I think that might be happening in Virginia. And yeah, the governorship of Glenn Youngkin really showed that Virginia will still vote red. They are still fully capable of voting for a Republican governor, and honestly, the Democrats aren't as safe in Virginia as they think they are. And yeah, it's mostly the DC area that is keeping them afloat, because if that starts trending towards the right, then you just lost the entire state. Because the DC area is hard Democrat, and if you start to lose that, then you lose all those committed Democrats, and they're just leaving. They're just gone. Then, yeah, it shifts to the right, especially since the other parts, the more Republican parts of the state, are turning out more and more because they've been emboldened by the governor to sort of change Virginia back to a red state, and that isn't going too well for Democrats. And honestly, if you have a majority of Virginians identifying as Republicans over Democrats, then that's a huge problem for Democrats in Virginia. And that means that Republicans are totally open to start flipping the state over the past few elections. And honestly, this is a pretty bad sign for Democrats, because you're losing a key state, and you're kind of losing a lot of influence over North Carolina. You're losing that southern appeal. And yeah, it's sort of, you're closing the gateway to Georgia, North Carolina, maybe the more liberal parts of Mississippi. You're losing all of that, because if you can't even get past Virginia, you can't get any of these swing states. They're just going to go further and further red, because Virginia right now is a very likely blue state for presidential elections, Senate elections, House elections. But if this trend keeps continuing and you're losing a likely blue state, then what does that mean for your leans or almost just barely blue states? What does that mean for Michigan? What does that mean for Wisconsin? Wisconsin is already trending to the right. Michigan voted Republican in 2016. So, yeah, the Democrats in these safe blue states, supposedly, they aren't that safe because they will vote Republican if they damn well want to. And yeah, yeah, you're gonna lose all of these states that you thought you had in the bag, and then you realize that, oh wait, there's still Republican voters in my state, and they turn out a lot when they're emboldened by a win, no matter how tiny it is. It flipped Michigan. If it managed to, will probably flip Georgia. It will flip North Carolina, Montana. All of these Republican voters are emboldened, and yeah, they're going to be flipping all these safe states. And honestly, the safe red states, I don't really see a majority of them going blue. I mean, when a lot of your vote, especially like Texas, something like Texas, I don't think that will go blue. A lot of the new safe blue voters, they're down in near the border, and a lot of them, I'm pretty sure a lot of them, they're not, actual legal citizens, but they're still able to vote, which is kind of stupid. But yeah, once they're gone, what do you have? All of South Texas will go redder and redder as a lot of the blue base just leaves. They're just gone. They're just gone. So yeah, you can't really flip that. Which yeah, you're not gonna flip that. Wisconsin getting more red. I can see Pennsylvania getting more blue, but that's pretty much the only real win. Colorado, it's basically gone at this point. New Mexico, yeah, still same thing. Maybe Arizona. That's also kind of more red than a lot of these more swing states, and definitely redder than Virginia. But you're losing Virginia, so none of them are safe. Nevada, that's getting way more Republican. The Las Vegas and Reno are losing a lot of political power, and the more Republican voters from California are moving to these big cities and turning them Republican. And yeah, it's not going too well for Democrats. You lose Virginia, the entire thing topples because you're losing a very likely blue state, and that means that you just lost all of the swing states because if you can't even win Virginia as a Democrat, then you can't win any state other than the hardcore Democrat states like the New England area and California. You just completely lost it. That means that honestly, you might lose Colorado. Colorado might start going Republican soon because honestly, it's not going to go too well if you're voting what 43% to 39% in a likely blue state. That ain't going to go too well. You are completely lost, and you really aren't going to do that well. So, yeah. Do you think that Virginia will go back to being a safe red state? Or is it just still going to stay a blue state that, for some reason, voted a Republican in office, even though that doesn't really make any sense? But, welcome surprise. Alright, see ya. Bye.